Hello, Metabolic friends. I'm Edu Rodriguez, pharmacist and biochemist living with type 1 diabetes, and today I want to share something that may surprise you. The foods you eat every day can play a powerful role in lowering your blood sugar. If you've ever struggled with stubborn glucose numbers, I encourage you to stick around. By the end of this video, you'll know 10 delicious options you can start adding to your meals right away. And trust me, they're a lot tastier than you think. Let's begin with something you probably already have in your spice rack: cinnamon. I know most people imagine sprinkling cinnamon on toast or stirring it into apple pie, but cinnamon does so much more than flavor alone. When we eat carbs like bread, pasta, or fruit, our bodies break them down into sugars. Insulin helps usher that sugar into our cells for energy, but when insulin isn't working properly, that's insulin resistance. Blood sugar stays elevated for too long. Over time, this damages our organs and puts us at risk for serious health issues. Cinnamon contains a compound called cinnamaldehyde, which is what gives it that strong, inviting aroma. But research shows cinnamaldehyde also helps our cells respond more effectively to insulin. When we eat cinnamon, it can slow the rate at which our stomach empties after a meal, so sugar enters the bloodstream more gradually. This helps prevent those nasty spikes after a big plate of pasta or a bowl of cereal. One well-known study in the Journal of Diabetes Care observed people with type 2 diabetes who consumed 1, 3, or 6 grams of cinnamon per day for 40 days. All groups saw lower fasting blood sugar levels, and even better, their cholesterol and triglyceride numbers improved too. If you already worry about heart disease, these are big wins in more ways than one. So how much cinnamon should you aim for? Most research suggests about a half to 1 teaspoon per day can offer real benefits. You don't have to swallow raw cinnamon powder all at once. Try stirring it into your coffee or tea, mixing a dash into your morning oatmeal, or even sprinkling it on eggs. Personally, I love a hot cup of coffee with a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, also called true cinnamon, because it's lower in coumarin, a substance that can be harmful to the liver in high amounts. This simple step makes my coffee taste better and helps keep my blood sugar in check. Next, let's talk about broccoli sprouts. These tiny greens look a bit like alfalfa sprouts, but they pack a punch. The secret lies in a compound called sulforaphane. When our liver produces too much glucose, something that often happens in type 2 diabetes, sulforaphane sends a signal to slow down that production. It's almost as if broccoli sprouts whisper to your liver, "Take it easy on the sugar." In one clinical study, people with type 2 diabetes who took sulforaphane from broccoli sprout extract experienced significant drops in fasting blood sugar, similar to what some medications can achieve, but without the side effects. You might wonder why sprouts matter more than mature broccoli. It's all about concentration. Broccoli sprouts can have up to 100 times more sulforaphane than a fully grown broccoli head. A small handful of sprouts delivers what you need pounds of broccoli to match. Adding broccoli sprouts is simple. I chop a handful over my morning omelet or stir them into a bowl of soup after it's cooked. Because sulforaphane is heat sensitive, you want to add sprouts at the end so you don't destroy their potency. If you can find fresh sprouts at a local market, great. If not, you can grow them on your countertop with just some seeds and a jar. Just remember to keep everything clean to avoid any contamination. In my kitchen, I always rinse them well before eating, and that fresh, peppery taste pairs well with so many dishes. Now let's move to nuts. For years, people feared nuts because of their calories and fats, but today we know that the healthy fats in nuts are essential. They're naturally low in digestible carbs, high in fiber, and brimming with nutrients that support better blood sugar control. When I need a snack between appointments, I reach for a small handful of macadamia nuts or pecans. These nuts keep me satisfied longer and don't send my glucose meter spiking. Walnuts, almonds, pecans, cashews, and pistachios all offer unique benefits. Walnuts deliver omega-3 fatty acids that help reduce inflammation. Almonds provide magnesium and fiber, which help your body use insulin better. Pecans carry antioxidants that protect your cells, and cashews supply copper and magnesium. In my afternoon routine, I often mix a few pecans into a side salad or toss chopped walnuts over Greek yogurt. It feels decadent, but it actually helps keep my blood sugar steady. Of course, portion control is key. Even though nuts are healthy, they're calorie dense. A good rule of thumb is to limit yourself to about an ounce or two, roughly a small handful, each day. You'll feel full and energized, and over time, people who eat nuts regularly often notice they don't gain weight and may even lose a little as they replace sugary snacks. Let's shift to chickpeas, those creamy little legumes that have been a staple around the world for thousands of years. Chickpeas are high in both fiber and plant protein, but low in simple sugars. When we eat chickpeas, the fiber slows digestion and prevents blood sugar from rising too quickly. This steady release of energy keeps our pancreas from overworking and helps curb cravings later in the day. A randomized trial in the Archives of Internal Medicine examined people with type 2 diabetes who ate a diet rich in legumes, mostly chickpeas, for 3 months. Those who added more legumes saw lower hemoglobin A1C levels, the marker of average blood sugar over 3 months, along with improvements in blood pressure and cholesterol. It wasn't just about sugar, it was about overall metabolic health. Swapping out white rice or pasta for chickpeas is one of my favorite tricks. For example, I'll replace a side of white rice with a half cup of cooked chickpeas. Another easy move is blending chickpeas into homemade hummus for a veggie dip or spreading a dollop on my lunchtime salad. If canned chickpeas are more convenient, just choose a low-sodium brand and rinse them well under water to wash away any preservatives. That simple swap can make a big difference in how you feel after every meal. Next up, fenugreek seeds. These little seeds pack a 1-2 punch for blood sugar control. First, they're very high in soluble fiber, which forms a gel in your stomach and slows down digestion, especially of starches. Second, they contain compounds like 4-hydroxyisoleucine, which help improve insulin production and sensitivity. In other words, fenugreek helps your body make and use insulin more effectively. One meta-analysis, a study of many studies, found that people with type 2 diabetes who took fenugreek seeds saw significant reductions in fasting blood sugar, post-meal glucose, and hemoglobin A1C levels. Some even noticed better cholesterol readings, especially lower LDL and triglycerides. Fenugreek's synergy of fiber and plant compounds gives dual benefits: improved sugar control and heart health. To use fenugreek, you can soak the seeds in water overnight and drink the infused water first thing in the morning. Some people eat the softened seeds too. You can also add ground fenugreek powder to soups, stews, or curries. If you prefer convenience, fenugreek supplements are widely available, but always talk to your healthcare provider before starting any new supplement, especially if you're already on medications. A typical dose in studies ranges from 5 to 25 grams of fenugreek seed daily, but if you're just beginning, start with a teaspoon or so and see how your body responds. Remember, it's high in fiber, so go gradually to avoid digestive upset. In rare cases, you might notice a maple syrup-like smell in your sweat when consuming larger amounts. It's harmless, but can catch you off guard if you're not expecting it. Now, let's dive into fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel, anchovies, and the like. These fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are natural anti-inflammatory agents. Chronic inflammation can make insulin resistance worse, so by eating fatty fish 2 or 3 times a week, you're helping your body process sugar more effectively.
Beyond omega-3s, fatty fish offer high-quality protein and essential nutrients such as vitamin D, vitamin B12, selenium, and iodine. This combination not only supports blood sugar control but also heart health. When I see canned sardines or salmon on sale, I grab a couple of jars. A quick lunch of sardines tossed into a bed of leafy greens or a dinner of grilled salmon with roasted vegetables is both convenient and deeply satisfying. If you're worried about mercury or other toxins, opt for smaller fish near the bottom of the food chain like sardines or anchovies. These tend to have lower contaminant levels. If you choose salmon, wild caught is often richer in omega-3s than farmed varieties. And remember, cooking methods matter. Grill, bake, or steam rather than deep fry, so you preserve those healthy oils without adding unhealthy fats. Chia seeds are another ancient superfood gaining modern fame. For centuries, people in Central America used chia seeds for lasting energy. Today, we know they're loaded with fiber, about 10 grams per 2 tablespoons, and healthy fats, specifically plant-based omega-3s. When chia seeds hit liquid, they form a gel that slows carbohydrate digestion and keeps us feeling full longer. Studies in overweight adults with type 2 diabetes show adding chia seeds can lower blood sugar, reduce blood pressure, and decrease markers of inflammation. Even if you don't overhaul your entire diet, sprinkling chia seeds on oatmeal or yogurt can offer measurable benefits. Aim for 1 to 2 tablespoons daily and be sure to drink plenty of water because that fiber needs fluid to move through your system. I like to mix chia seeds into a chia pudding the night before, seconds to prepare and a satisfying breakfast the next morning. Let's not forget beef, specifically grass-fed, lean cuts or even fattier cuts if you prefer. When it comes to blood sugar, high-quality protein and healthy fats matter. Protein has a very low impact on blood sugar because it digests more slowly than carbohydrates. Plus, protein increases postprandial thermogenesis. That's a fancy way of saying your body burns more calories digesting protein than it does digesting carbs or fats. In other words, eating protein helps stabilize blood sugar and can boost your metabolism slightly after meals. Grass-fed beef often has higher levels of omega-3s, conjugated linoleic acid, and antioxidants like vitamin E. Whether I'm cooking a sirloin steak or a lean flank, I aim for a 3 to 4 ounce serving, about the size of my palm, paired with plenty of vegetables. Even if you're on a low carb or carnivore style plan, a moderate portion of grass-fed beef offers protein and healthy fat without spiking glucose. Just avoid pairing it with heavy starches like fries or white rice, and you'll keep your meal blood sugar friendly. Finally, let's celebrate avocados. For years, we feared all fats, but we now understand that monounsaturated fats, like those in avocados, are deeply beneficial. When I slice ripe avocado over a salad or mash it into guacamole, I know I'm feeding my body healthy fats that support insulin sensitivity. Avocados are naturally low in sugar and loaded with fiber, so they won't send your blood sugar soaring. People who eat avocados regularly often feel full longer, experience fewer cravings, and see steadier energy throughout the day.
Studies from large community health projects show that people who include avocados in their diets have better blood sugar control and healthier insulin levels. And guess what? They weren't following crash diets. They simply made avocados a regular habit. I suggest adding a quarter to half of a medium avocado to lunch or dinner. You can dice it into soups, top eggs with sliced avocado, or scoop it with a spoon right out of its peel. It pairs with so many flavors, and I never tire of that creamy texture. Now, if you're still curious about what happens when you cut sugar out completely, check out my video on quitting sugar. But for today, remember these 10 foods: cinnamon, broccoli sprouts, nuts, chickpeas, fenugreek seeds, fatty fish, chia seeds, beef, and avocado can all support your journey toward better blood sugar control. None of them are magic bullets, but each one offers real benefits backed by science. When you combine these foods with balanced meals, consistent exercise, adequate sleep, and your medical team's advice, you're giving yourself the best chance at reversing or at least deeply improving your diabetes. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone you know who struggles with blood sugar. Let me know in the comments which of these foods you'll try first, or share a favorite recipe that keeps your glucose in check. Your stories help our community grow stronger. Don't forget to subscribe to Edu Diabetes in English and click the bell so you never miss a new video. Every week I bring you 2 or 3 lessons packed with practical tips, real patient stories, and scientific insights to help you live well with diabetes. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay empowered, stay curious, and remember, you have the power to change your health one meal at a time.